What's up, everyone? Welcome to day 10 of my small account challenge of growing a $2,000 account using Charles Schwab as my broker. As we look back on the last 10 days, I've got now 2 weeks under my belt. Well, I guess that's not exactly true. I think there were a couple of no trade days in there. So this challenge is probably spread over closer to 3 weeks. And so, in any case, over the last 3 weeks and over the course of the last 10 trading days, I've managed to grow the account from $2,000 up to over $11,000. Today's another green day. And I want to pose a question to you guys here that you can answer in the comments. Would you like to see me keep growing this account? And if yes, to how much money would you like to see me grow it to? Or would you like to see me reset the account back down to $2,000 and do another small account challenge? And if yes to that, what broker would you like to see me use? Now, you guys can vote in the comments. Whoever has the most thumbs up on a broker, I'll view that as the community vote of which broker you're most interested in seeing me use. Using Charles Schwab made sense for a lot of reasons. When I began the challenge, some of the other brokers that I do like a lot, including Webull, they were restricting trading on a lot of small cap stocks. And so I felt that if I used Webull, I wouldn't be able to take trades on some of these stocks that were moving. Whereas Charles Schwab, they were restricting the stocks, but they allowed you to sign a waiver where you said, I know it's risky, but I want to trade them anyways, and then they let you trade them. I mean, for what it's worth, it's your money. You should be able to do what you want, but, I digress. So let me know what you guys think. My one issue that I've had over the past few weeks using Thinkorswim is that it's a little bit of a hog of resources on my computer. These last 2 weeks, I've been on my traveling trading station, which means I'm trading on a laptop right here using these sort of dinky little external monitors. Here's one of them right there. They're super skinny. I like them a lot, but it's not an ideal system. And regardless of the monitors, what's not ideal is that a laptop running Thinkorswim, that's one thing. But then I've got the third-party software I'm using to API to Thinkorswim. And I'm using that software because it allows me to create customized hotkeys. You can't do that with Thinkorswim, which is very annoying. So because Thinkorswim hasn't added this one very basic feature that nearly every other trading platform includes, which is the ability to create a customized hotkey, I have to go spend extra money each month using a third-party platform to API. So the third-party platform executes the orders, and then I watch them in Thinkorswim as they get filled. But this means now I'm running two pieces of software and spending extra money. Plus, I'm still trading my regular account. So now I've got 3 trading platforms running at the same time. Plus, I've got the charts and the scanners and screen recording and everything else. And the result is that I'm having moments where my computer just locks up. And this is a nice computer. It's heavy as can be. It's got a huge fan in it. It's got a nice graphics card. It's got a ton of memory. So, it's just, you can only expect so much. And so I think there's an argument for using brokers that are a little bit simpler and that you don't have to kind of, do this like shoehorn situation to make it work. On the other hand, Thinkorswim has been really good for a number of reasons. Was able to get shares of the SpaceX IPO. They get pretty good order execution, price improvement, so anyways, you guys let me know what you think in terms of where to go from here. But let's go ahead and jump into the breakdown. So as always, the profits from these small account challenges, that gets donated to charity. But because I keep resetting the account back down to $2,000, it's limiting how much I can make. So I'm giving you guys the chance to help me increase the amount I'm donating. And every time you guys hit the thumbs up, I'm adding an extra $1 to charity. So thank you guys who have hit the thumbs up in the episodes in this series. You've made a huge difference in raising money. I'm donating the money, but you've made a huge difference here nonetheless. So this is the 50-state children's hospital goal, a goal of donating to a children's hospital in every state in the United States. And as of right now, we're at 25 states that we've donated to. So we're about halfway through or halfway towards this big goal. Arkansas, Alaska, and Alabama were the 3 that we got just yesterday. I just hadn't gotten, I wasn't doing it alphabetically, but I just thought I'd knock them out because someone in the comments mentioned Arkansas. And so I said, all right, I'll do that. And then as I was looking at my spreadsheet, I had Alaska and Alabama there as well. All right, so today's day 10 of the small account challenge. And as I sat down at about 7 a.m. this morning, and even at 8:41, the gap scanner was pretty dull. Um, I was a little bit concerned about this on the one hand, but on the other hand, when you don't have much moving, it can sort of open the door that anything that moves up even a little bit becomes the most obvious stock very quickly. And so that ended up happening to KUST, Custom Entertainment with a K. This is very important. It's not custom, it's custom entertainment. That means they're edgy, they're cool, and more profitable? No, well, certainly not more profitable. Don't be ridiculous. This is a company that has a history of selling off. And to be honest, I didn't think it was going to do much. But I didn't think NXTR or NXTS would do much on Monday or Tuesday when that one popped up. But because nothing else was moving up, it had its day in the spotlight and ended up going from about $4 a share to $24, which was incredible. So KUST Custom, this one popped up this morning, and because nothing else was really looking good, it ended up doing quite well. I was surprised. I didn't take any trades on it. I just sat on the sidelines, kind of rolling my eyes and feeling a little bit annoyed. The issue was down here at $2. It was too cheap. And then by the time it was up here at 3, I saw with this topping tail candle, I felt that it was too extended. It drops down. First candle makes a new high. It goes back to 340, but I just said, nah, I just can't. And then look at this high volume rejection right here. So this is a spot where, obviously some traders fell into that rejection. Would you have gotten caught in that? Well, let's back that up for a second. Right here, we'd already had a first pullback and a second pullback, and the second pullback didn't go very high relative to the first one. So that tells us the stock had kind of a big boost here. It pulls back, and then not as many people jumped in for the continuation higher. It then pulls back, and during this pullback, because it rejected from 340 all the way down to 280, which is fairly big on a low price stock, the volume was higher on the sell side there. And then the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence indicator, went red. So I sort of have a rule that I'm pretty good about following, that I won't trade once the MACD goes red. And so once the MACD is red, I'm not interested. So I would not have gotten into that trade because the MACD was red. And the MACD didn't flip to positive until right here. But by that time, we were below the volume weighted average price, and it was not really a good setup. So there were no trades on that one for me. Now, we did have AZI on the scans earlier. This one had continued to move from pre-market, after hours, and continued a little bit higher into pre-market. But there was no trades on that for me. IQST was also on the scans. This one I looked at as being too cheap. Similar to Custom, I didn't take any trades on it. And then we had MIMI that hit the scanners. MIMI ended up coming out with news. So the news comes out and the stock pops from about 280 up to a high of $5 a share. In that first spike right there, I put out my order to buy and I did not get filled. I was a little annoyed because, man, that thing ripped. And it went, as you could see here, all the way up to the high of 5. And that could have been a really nice trade, but my order got skipped. So I didn't get filled in the small account. And so that was disappointing. Now, I got trades on it in my big account, but that I wanted to trade in the small account and I didn't get it. But then it has high volume selling. The MACD goes negative, as you can see here, and it starts pulling back. But the MACD is negative from about right here. Oops, sorry. We'll put that on the other time frame. So the MACD was negative from about right here to about right here. And so as it curled up right through here, that's where I started to get interested. So let's look at the this curling trade. So MIMI hit the running up scanner at about 826 as it started to curl back up. This scanner is specifically looking for stocks that are running up, but are not at the high of day. And so as it was starting to squeeze up right here, I took a total of 3 trades on it. The first trade was right here for the break of the volume weighted average price. This is a 10-second chart, but the MACD at that point was green, positive. So that was the first trade right there, and that was good for about $300. Then I took a second trade right here as it came over VWAP a second time. sort of an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And I took the third trade right here, looking for the squeeze back through 5. Unfortunately, we didn't get the break of 5 that I was hoping for. But nonetheless, those were the 3 trades I took. So 2 were a break of VWAP setup, and 1 was a high day breakout pattern. Then we had FCUV on the running up scanner a few minutes later. And FCUV had this big move earlier and then started to curl up right here. And so as it did this little pullback, I jumped in right there for the trade through VWAP. This one ended up piercing VWAP and then coming back down below it. I wasn't able to turn that into a bigger trade, but it was green nonetheless. So over the course of 4 trades today, I have $341 of profit on FCUV, $978.49 of profit on MIMI, for a total of a little over $1,300, which means the account now has $11,470.49. I'm up 473% over the last 10 days. 20 trades in total, 17 winners, 3 losers, 85% accuracy. I would say the last 2 weeks, the market, or the last 3 weeks, the last month, the market's been pretty strong. We had the SpaceX IPO, that gave us a nice boost. We've had a number of small cap stocks making big moves. So as it's turned out, it's been a great time to do a small account challenge because the underlying moves have been so big. I'm limited in how many shares I can buy, but when the move is as big as they've been, I've been able to grow the account very quickly. Small account challenges when the market is colder, the returns are slower. And you guys have seen that in some of the other challenges I've done. And so if I do end up resetting my account back down to $2,000, it's possible the next 2 or 3 weeks won't be as hot as the previous. And as a result, the growth will be a little bit slower. Now, even though I'm not restricted by the pattern day trader rule, I could take 100 trades a day if I wanted to. I've been focusing for the most part, except for my one red day, on quality over quantity. And so I've only taken an average of 2 trades per day. Today was more. I took 4, but it was not my most profitable day. Trading more doesn't necessarily mean I'll make more. But, I could trade more, and I did see some decent setups today, but nothing really opened up in a big way, which is kind of disappointing. So in any case, this is where I sit now as of the end of day 10. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments down below about what you'd like to see me do with this account, continue growing it. If so, to what amount, or resetting, and if so, using which broker, which platform. So share your comments down below. And if you haven't already joined our 2-week trial, you're welcome to join. There's a link pinned to the top of the comments and in the top of the description. The 2-week trial is $20. And during that 2-week trial, you'll have access to this software right here, which is web-based, so it works on any platform. And you can use it for charting, scanning. You can log into the chat room so you can listen over my shoulder as I'm trading. So let's see. Right now you go into the small cap room and you can see traders that are in here. So let's see, Michael, he's posting a screenshot from today, which is pretty nice looking. He's got his $100,000 badge. So some nice trades there for him. And when the stream is running, this right here will be lit up and it'll say stream on. And right here, it'll say stream on right there. So no streams available because I'm not streaming right now. I'm just recording this for YouTube. But over down here, the newsroom is streaming. So if you click on that, then you could open that stream, you click play, and then you could start listening as it comes through. So that is a news feed that gives you squawk. So they read the news headlines out loud to you. All right. So anyways, and by the way, during your 2-week trial, you guys also get access to the first 6 classes of day trading the basics, which is part of my Warrior Pro curriculum. So I hope you guys check out the trial, and I will see you streaming bright and early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And I'll give you a reminder, as always, that trading is risky. My results aren't typical, so please manage your risk, take it slow, and always practice in a simulator before putting real money on the line.